At nighttime, I would be driving around the city and I would see homeless people on the street, and I knew they didn't know where to go. So I would pick them up and take them to a homeless shelter, and the homeless shelter refused them, which blew my mind. I just never thought a homeless shelter would refuse a homeless person. So I took the 3 men, put them in my car to keep them warm, and thought, well, let's drive around the city, and we did. We came back, and when I brought them down to, into the shelter, they were refused. But all I could think of was no room in the inn. So I said, well, call one of the other places, shelters, and see if they'll take them in. So I begged them to take the men in, and finally they said they would take one, and I had 2 more. So I drove them in to the third church, and I said, I have 2 homeless men, would you take them in? They said no. By that time I had had it, and I said, I'm not leaving until you take them in. And they took them in.
I was at the hill of the bottom of the bucket. If I have a problem with drugs, they'll direct you where to go, but they'll take you to make sure you're taking that initiative to do something for yourself. I wanted to go back to school. They made that happen. I needed public assistance. They made that happen. I can get on the bus now. Yes, they help you. Even mentally, they will help you. Get you a therapist and all that, help you get to where you need to be. In all aspects of your life, they will help you.
Elfrida got to that point. She got to the point where she could navigate on her own. We had confidence in her that she could do the next step. But she had to develop confidence in us first, and trust in us to say, okay, if this is what you're saying that I have to do, then I'll do it.
I'm independent. I am successful. So I love the House of Mercy. Yes, I do.
I was coming up the street one day and I was telling the people, we don't have food. I don't know what to do with these 6 children. I go to different little houses to get food or something like that. I was afraid of white folks. I never had no big conversations with them. If it were, it was negative stuff. They said, go to Sister Grace, so I went down there one evening to get a bag of food and some bread for the kids. And she started talking to me, and that kind of choked me up because I wasn't used to that. So when I told her my problem and about Social Security and everything, and she said, I tell you what, meet me here in the morning, 9 o'clock. I'll take you to Social Security. So it wasn't very long. They started giving me Social Security, and I was so grateful.
She developed a real trust and confidence in us. She saw how we took our time with her, that we welcomed her, we loved her, and we trusted her. And I think the fact that I walked with her every step of the way until she got what she needed.
I love y'all. I love you to death.
The night that I came in, it was below 0 wind chill factor, and you cannot survive out there. This place really deals with the actual issue of being homeless and why you're homeless. If you had other people that you could count on, you wouldn't be homeless. This is a safety net that catches the people that have fallen through the cracks. I could say, I owe my life to this place. It's literal.
I think we caught him at the right time in his life and he responded to the care and the help that we had for him. It's carrying him right through, not the end, but carrying him right through the different levels that he needs to be at, and he's there.
It's winter time, and it was really cold. And I went into hypothermia, and the driver of House of Mercy found me lying down in my home. I would not have had any life if they had not come in, to the house. I would have been dead. someone would definitely would have found me there.
He knows that we care for him. Even he wanted to go back to the house he was in, but there was no electricity there, you know. And we said, Kelly, you can't go back there. It's, you have no heat. This was in the colder weather. There's no heat, you know. Stay here. We'll help you. We'll take care of you.
Nobody, I think, in my mind, wants to be homeless. We all have our circumstances that lead to us.
And if he gets to a state where he can go back home, we'll help him get the house ready, you know, but his health comes first.
I stopped going since I was 15, and that's because I have multiple sclerosis. I'm here because I got nowhere else to go. I need help with speech therapy and physical therapy to keep me going, because I'm not going in the wheelchair. Without Juanita and Sister Grace and Sister Rita, it'll be a mess. There's people here that drives can take me to my appointment. And without that, they would close my case and I'll be out here with nothing.
What we're trying to do is to get you to realize that you can make it, you know, you can get there. We'll help you to get there, but you have to help yourself too, you know, and you have to let go of that street life, which is so easy for her to fall back on.
You know, we're a society that looks at everybody that's homeless as a person that has an addiction or a mental health problem. We all go through different things, and Sister Grace doesn't care what you're going through. If you need help, she's going to give you that help.
When I came to the House of Mercy in 1992, I had my young son, 6 months old, and I didn't have a home, didn't have food, nothing to feed my son, no help. I ended up having my second daughter, Bianca. I got 2 kids. They born here at the House of Mercy, they raised out at the House of Mercy. They went to school, they graduate.
I think this is actually a good experience to actually realize what you don't want to be in life. We have different characters in here. Crazy, some of them have illness, but they're people, just like me. Why treat them different?
So I'm very grateful and thankful to Sister Grace and everybody that's helping Sister Grace, including CW, Sister Rita, Sister Gloria, Father Neil when he was there to open the doors.
It's being with them every bit of the way. As long as they're with us, we are going to nurture them and help them to move.
Sister Grace is the mother of love. She's the mother of love.
DeVern had been to other shelters and finally found his way to the House of Mercy. And he was with us for many years, about 14 years, I think. When he was very young, he got into an argument with his sister, and his sister put him out of the house. He was, I think he was only like 11, 12, 13, around that age. He was put out of the house, and he just, at that point, he just wandered and didn't know who he was. He lost it all at that point when he was put out of his home.
That's why I became a homeless person, because of my lack of identification. And when I got here, they worked with me to help me to find and obtain that birth certificate. I went to a government agent of the city, and I told him what happened. So they helped me find a alias name, Richard Abraham, so I could find my birth certificate, my birthplace. And I had to use Abraham, Richard Abraham. I wasn't too shabby about it. I said, that ain't my name, but it's something to identify myself by. And it's the only place that really took me in and took care of me and seemed to me to get a step forward day by day.
DeVern realized that his name wasn't Abraham. I don't know where Abraham came from, but when he realized what his real name was and where he was born, and he got his birth certificate, he was like a new person. He was so happy. It was like a new freedom in his life, you know. I know who I am now, and I'm not Abraham, I'm DeVern.
I'll be lost if I didn't have the House of Mercy.
I would be dead.
I was living from pillar to post. Now I have a place to live.
Coming here helped me get back on my feet and also getting reunited with my boys.
Without House of Mercy, I would say I would have died.
The House of Mercy is a door open for all of us.
They make me want to keep fighting and to not give up.
Luckily, they caught me and saved my life. I 100% certain of that.
If a person doesn't have a place to lay his head comfortable at night and he got to sleep outside, ain't no telling what might happen to him.
Was sickly too at that time. So she set me up with an appointment for a doctor I had been seeing at Strong for a long, long time.
Bianca ended up graduate at Hopewell because of Sister Grace. She would be there for the meetings. She would be there. When they need her for Bianca, she would be right there.
Me and my brother been here since we were little kids, and I'm going off to college, and I'll never forget where I come from.
The greatest desire I have is to make changes in individuals. If you give them the time and have the patience and persevere to work with them, it will change. If you have nothing, a little bit of something is better than a whole lot of nothing. It gives you a little hope. Why do I think she does? I think she's actually living out what she believes in. That is the Gospels. If you're down and out and you want someone to fight for you, you couldn't find a better fighter.
I knew that something needed to be done about the homeless because working in the inner city, I saw the homeless on the streets. I saw people hovering, on street corners, and I thought, why isn't anybody helping them? And so when I started to pick up homeless people off the street and take them to homeless shelters, I began to see what the real problem was, and I knew something needed to be done. I've heard homeless people say, I'm human, I'm real, and I would hope that all people would look upon, the homeless as being equal, one of us. It's my brother, my sister in need. Let me reach out to that person. Maybe this would help people to see that there is something that we can all do as a community, rich and poor alike, as a community, to make Rochester really a better city